to Barata Nectar.
Welcome to Cinekuest Video.
In an age of darkness.
May God have mercy upon your souls.
Something's wrong. Something's amiss.
At a time of evil.
You shall die!
When the world needed a hero.
The swallow us all. I don't want to die!
What it got was him.
Groovy. You know your shoelace is untied.
He's a 20th century guy.
For that arrogance, I shall see you dead.
Trapped in the Middle Ages.
All right, you primitive screwheads, listen up. This is my boomstick.
Now, let's talk about how I get back home.
Foretold by a mystical book.
Within its pages are passages that can send you back to your time.
Forewarned by a wise man.
You must recite the words Klaatu, Berata, Niktu.
I got it.
Fulfilled by a wise guy.
Klaatu, Berata.
When thou misspoke the words, the army of the dead awoke.
Now he's got a date.
Give me some sugar, baby.
With the army of darkness.
You found me beautiful once.
Honey, you got real ugly.
Sound the trumpets. Raise the drawbridge. Drop the Oldsmobile. From Sam Raimi.
Oh, that's gonna hurt.
Director of Darkman. Comes Army of Darkness. They live. They breathe. They suck. Army of Darkness.
Dude, we fucking did it. Actually, after a couple fucking, I was like, that was pretty fucking clean, dude. Like, we were on, man, like, it's like we've known each other for a decade or something, man. This is fucking crazy.
Go figure.
And Roland and I have the same fucking keyboards and shit. And
Yeah. Whee!
Oh, do you all relate for real?
Yeah.
yeah.
That's funny.
I was like, hey, Daniel.
Is that a
this cool.
Bluetooth?
No, it's a little
it's
USB
just-
receiver,
no.
dude.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
IR. Infrared.
Hey, welcome to Cinekuest Video, episode number 61. On this episode, we're going to be concluding our last horror trilogy of the year. And it is the finale of the journey of Ashley Williams,
Well,
to be correct.
So
We thought.
Yes. So
we
everyone
thought.
thought in the movies.
Yes, and we're going to be talking about the movie Army of Darkness.
Yeah.
And before we get started, introduce myself. My name is Ray, your host, and another host in this particular podcast.
In your general vicinity, 'tis I, not Ray.
Good job. And in the Pacific Northwest studios, probably freezing his
Nips
balls
off.
off.
Or both.
No, I'm chilling, man. We're in a heat wave. It's like 34 out. Like,
wow.
whatever, dude. This is Darkwing Drunk, a.k.a. Daniel. What's up, dudes?
All right, so Army of Darkness, guys. We made it.
Yeah.
I am.
We're at the end
just
of
like,
this
Did
year.
you catch this one in theaters too, Ray, when you were a boy?
I did not. I saw the poster, though.
of 13?
I saw the poster.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Poster was
Yeah.
fucking everywhere, man. And it was always fucking funny how, like, even on like the video stores growing up, there was always fucking the Army of Darkness poster in every fucking, like, you know, budget dollar rental place or whatever. Like,
Yeah.
there's always that poster somewhere in that fucking shop. And yes.
You know, I think I've mentioned this on the other podcasts of Evil Dead that I was not aware that it was a part of this trilogy.
Yeah, no. Yeah, I think we all admitted to that at certain points. I think during the first Evil Dead podcast.
The Deadiverse. Right.
And
Yeah, 'cause-
this one pretty much just amps the laughs up
Yeah.
to like
What is it,
120%.
what did they say
200.
that Sam Raimi said in the documentary? That the first was a horror movie, the second was comedy, and this third one was an adventure or something like that. It was like, because somebody was complaining like where the horror was, like they had problems with the rating at first from the who the fuck, whatever.
MPAA or whatever. Yeah, because apparently they try to fuck them or whatever.
Even though there's like no real blood in the movie, you know.
Well, no, but it was really cool though because they thought that like maybe it was the MPAA being little bitches about
because of either like 1 and 2.
Yeah, because how they skipped around because you could release a movie as unrated.
Yeah.
Which
to
is
get
what
around
they did. So they're thinking like, oh, maybe we're gonna be NC-17 sort of rating or whatever. And then they did, and then they like edited it like slightly. They're like, here,
because they were like, well, what do we change, or like what's the problem? And what did they say?
And they say it's the build up. Yeah,
right.
That was the
like
movie studios. Like it's the build up. So it's like, well, do you mean the entire fucking movie?
Exactly.
Then? Like,
it's kind of everything.
Build it to
like,
the end where he's back in the shop, or like out of time again.
And like Bruce Campbell said it pretty well. Like this movie should have been fucking like PG-13.
Yeah,
and I think there's like
nowadays
there's
like
like a quarter scene with like some like chick with tits and like her hair's covering her nips or something like that. You see some tasteful
don't see
side
her nipples.
boob.
I examined this when we were watching it. I was like, okay, you can't see nipples. But as far as blood in this movie is rather bloodless because you have that one scene in the pit where there was like the explosion of blood that hit the wall. That's kind of comical, really, and everyone's like, and it was just funny.
That's pretty much it. You see people getting stabbed.
Other than that, you see like but like
there's
the blood you see is like on fucking Ash's face with his little like cuts.
Right, yeah, and like one of those is real from when he like had an accident and fucking cuts himself on set. Excuse me.
Yeah, well, he cut himself with armor that his wife made.
Yeah, his wife at the time. I think that was another sort of joke he made that like they got married before the movie started, and that before it was released, he'd gotten divorced. Or something like that.
I wasn't.
No. Like he joked that they were because they're still married or whatever.
Oh, that's
to my knowledge.
Yeah,
and they joked that like if they weren't married before going into this project, they would totally be done. Like
because I thought later in the documentary he made the joke that maybe I misunderstood. Like he said that, and then he said later on that like this movie took 3 years to like I got a divorce before the movie like released or whatever, some kind of garbage. Maybe he was joking. I don't know shit like about his personal life.
Yeah, I don't either.
But
I guess we.
It's believable only because like
professional. But
this thing took 3 years to from start to finish.
So they shot for like 122 days or something like that.
According to Bruce Campbell, like it was a pretty grueling movie set.
I mean, it's the way they describe it and the way it looks. This is like some fucking like Lord of the Rings ridiculousness or whatever. They were
and then like the
they
dude
were
who played the
filming
king
for like half a year or something like that. I think was it.
Yeah, as far as like the critical or like the brutal conditions, the guy who played the king of the castle,
Arthur?
they were mostly holed
Arthur.
up at
Yeah.
Oh, was he Arthur? Word. So that actor was like, so it was 110 out, and he was mostly steel armor.
Yeah.
So he was like 110 outside, like
Right, because
130
they were in
inside.
Southern California in the desert.
Yeah. and
Okay,
there's
so
just-
that's where this movie was made then.
Oh yeah. So actually, I Wikipedia'd this movie, and it was like locations where they shot it at. Parts of it were at the Vasquez Rocks, like where the classic Star Trek scene where fucking.
They kept the castle there, and apparently, like they had a lot of like Renfest stuff going on for some time after. Which I was just like, oh, those lucky fucks, that's cool. Because like,
there was nothing in the contract that said
for
they
all
had to
intents and
assemble
purposes,
like the props.
They built a pretty like solid, castle facade or whatever.
But it was interesting because apparently the set designer. Or one of the set designers who was on the like documentary covering the making of this movie was a little dismayed because he just spent time in England looking at all of, like the English architecture.
Yeah.
And apparently the style of the castle in Army of Darkness was styled after like Spanish castles.
Yeah.
So he was just like, God damn it. I was expecting like, I wanted English castles. Like we're supposed to be in England. Let's have English castles. And so it's kind of funny. He was cheesed off about that. Cause I thought that was like, one of those things most people would be like, whatever, it works.
You nerd.
It's a fucking castle. Like, whatever,
You fucking nerd. Aw, that sucks.
There's a fucking gate and a drawbridge and some fucking parapets.
There's a moat.
It's a moat.
Yeah, that's right. It's got a moat.
Yeah.
What else do you need?
It's fucking castle, dude. Come on.
They've got a pit. I mean, what other movie are you gonna watch that has a character titled Pit Bitch? I just thought it was the funniest fucking thing. I never knew the name, but until I saw one of the documentary that we all watched, and the guy that did, I guess, the sort of like some of the costume effects, did one like a mock-up, and they scared the shit out of Raimi, and he's like, all right, I want you to do it. And I'm like, you're gonna act this character out, and he's like, and I became the Pit Bitch. It's like, what the fuck? He said he went to a room of people at like a convention, was like, oh yeah, I did that. I was in that movie. And he's like, and they all bowed to me. I was like, what the fuck?
Oh no, it was this guy went to like,
what did he go to?
Move his like grandkids or something, or his kids into like a house or something like that. And then in this house, there was a couple of posters. Yeah. One was another, I can't remember the first movie, but he was like, oh, I was in that. And they were like, all right, cool, man. Yeah. And then they went to this other room. There's an Army of Darkness poster. He was like, oh yeah, dude, I was in that too. And these kids like bowed down to him, you know, like, which is fucking awesome, man.
It's fucking great.
The actual making of the movie, the documentary itself is probably as long as this movie is.
Yeah, it's about an hour and a half.
Actually, they have I think they have about the same run times.
There is, I mean, aside from this, like
Army of Darkness, hour 36, and I think the doc was as well.
A lot of the clips that were used in it, because there's just like they were saying, there's like 100 different versions or whatever of Army of Darkness out on like various CD formats or whatever the fuck, DVD.
Are you talking about like bootleg versions or?
No. There's like you have the boomstick version.
Like there's Screwhead, which I own.
Then I forget what the fuck else.
That was
the Necronomicon.
I had the bootleg version, which was basically had the original ending, but it wasn't like brightened up. So like, you know how when we saw the original ending. Yeah. And it was kind of like darkened a little bit. Yeah. That's the way the whole fucking movie was. So it was kind of hard. Yeah. It's hard to watch that version. Yeah. Because nothing's lit well. Right. And but yeah, so I had that version. Unfortunately, I don't know where it went. I think someone stole it from me or whatever, but it's gone now.
I mean, oh well. Like you can.
Well, yeah, I can always get another one. But I mean, as long as you have the alternate ending, at some point you have it, and I think it's pretty much on every DVD from here on out.
YouTube has a lot of like those behind the scenes clips or whatever that got reused in the documentary, but you can see them all separately. And, it's cool shit.
So our other legal stream option for this movie was kind of like janky for us, the resolution. So it occurred to me to go, I pulled out the DVD to watch earlier, but I just hadn't thought of it. But Roland's brother actually gifted me this version for Christmas, but my Screwhead edition of this movie. So I popped that in. And
you have the original ending, so that was fucking nice.
Yeah, it was like but it shows like it's billed as like on the DVD menu, it's like an alternate ending, but then when it like pops up like the video wise, it goes original ending. It's really fucking like contradictory there, but but at least I've got access to like the entire
ending
movie,
as far as the studio version is concerned, but original
alternate
ending
from the theatrical release version.
Original as far as
the studio didn't like it. It was too dark or whatever.
Studio, I meant theatrical release. Yeah, the studio, as far as the studio is concerned, it's the original. Was the original ending, which I kind of liked it. I mean, the only reason I also liked the. I can see how like they approach it, and I would have preferred the original ending to the one that, you know, ends with him back in S-Mart. But the thing is, that's also a really cool ending. Like, it's fucking hilarious.
Yeah. And then also like hindsight's 2020, because they also did Ash versus Evil Dead, where
So it's
if the original planned ending would have occurred, that would have never happened.
And so,
but we also wouldn't have got the classic last line of Ash in this movie, which was "Hail to the King, baby."
Yeah,
and which is, we would not have gotten that. So we would have just gone, "Oh, I slept too long." Yeah. Come on, that's not a great line to end the movie.
No, I mean, it would have also ended on him laughing like hysterically or whatever.
Yeah, exactly. So I mean, it's kind of uneventful. You see like the destruction of the world.
Yeah.
And he just says, I slept too long.
Yeah.
Crouches down and then that's it. It's over.
Yeah.
The documentary, that one guy said that in concept it was a good ending, but in execution it was poor.
Right.
Like,
I mean,
Actually, in the
it
documentary
fell
too, they
short.
talked about the possibility of like Army of Darkness 2, where Ash kind of like rises up because apparently it was the Deadites, because still like the book wasn't sealed up or whatever. So that's what caused the end of the world. So then Ash like leads a rebellion against that shit.
You see, that's what I assumed when I saw that ending.
Evil Dead 4 or whatever, where
Exactly.
he joins
And
up
that
with a bunch of
would've been
robots to
amazing.
fight the Deadites or something like that.
Right,
That's
and that
what
would have
he
been
was
the
joking.
fucking shit, dude. But
Yeah, that would have been pretty fucking cool.
I mean, I was under the assumption that that was what happened. Like, it wasn't just like the world, he slept too long and the world just kind of fucking ended. And from my point of view, I thought that he slept, but since the book wasn't, he didn't get the book properly. He didn't say the words
Right.
properly.
And-
Like, the Deadites were going to continue on no matter what.
Right.
Exactly. So, like, if he had taken the exact amount of drops, he'd woken up in his reality, but it doesn't mean the Deadites were gone, because that shit wasn't sorted back in like the 1500s.
And I mean, it
Yeah.
did pretty much continue on in the TV series. Like that's pretty much what happened.
I mean, it did, but like,
I think it died down for a
have,
time,
like,
and then like it came
Well,
back.
it died down, but it was pretty much dead and gone. But he got high.
Yeah, that's right.
And showed that
Read
girl
from the book.
read from the book, because he sells like this. She liked books of poetry.
Yeah.
And then they woke dead again, like in a very stupid way, you know. But funny though. Very funny.
Like Ash being a dumbass.
The
sort
TV
of
series
thing.
is a mixture of the like Army of Darkness and the evil. The first Evil Dead
Like the
movie.
first
It's
Evil
got
Dead,
it's got a lot of
which-
horror in it, and it's also fucking hilarious.
Well, and that's one thing they brought up in that documentary, where it was like, you know, they wanted to bring back in some of the horror elements, and they were like, well, we could do it in the TV format, which is pretty cool.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, like after watching this, I really need to check out the last season.
Well, I mean, this movie has it has more comedy in it than the rest of them.
Yep.
But it's pretty much a tribute to like Sam Raimi's love for the Three Stooges. Like,
oh yeah,
like amped up.
I sort of look at this as like if Mel Brooks had tried to make a horror movie kind of thing. Like,
well, he did. It's called Dracula Dead and Loving It.
And Young Frankenstein, buddy.
I mean, all right, at a action horror movie.
Dracula Dead and Loving
Young
It.
Frankenstein.
Fuck off.
There's two right there, bud. Two movies.
All right, so again, yes, like he pretty much does the Three Stooges gags all over the place, and if you listen to Sam Raimi talking at all, he fucking sounds like one of the fucking Stooges. He
sounds like fucking. He sounds like fucking
Hey, buddy.
like Curly, man. Like,
Yeah.
he could literally be walking around going whoop 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 whoop.
He probably fucking does.
That's probably what he
Like,
does. Yeah.
in that fucking documentary, how all these like people that worked with him in the movie like mimicked him. They're like,
Yeah, everybody does
like,
that.
These
Hey,
guys
buddy,
make
come
all
on,
the
buddy.
stuff like they're like, well, buddy, how many guys do you have, buddy? And they're like, 105. Well, how many do you need? Well, I think 175, buddy. Like,
Yeah.
And then he destroys
Yeah.
them all, like in the fucking shooting. And he's like, well, how many do you have? They're like glowing at
Everybody,
everybody
they interviewed made fun of,
He's like,
fun of his,
all right, buddy.
his habits of speech, and that was always the way they ended it. Hey, buddy. Hey, buddy.
Yeah.
Come on, buddy.
We can do this, buddy.
And yeah,
You know,
it's
you're
fucking
gonna go,
hilarious.
do
Like,
Sounds
and
like the
then-
goddamn
buddy.
Adam Sandler skit from one of his CDs. Hey, buddy.
Yeah.
That's literally what it's called.
Yeah. So yeah. I mean, like this movie is pretty heavy on the. I think it's more heavy on the fantasy comedy, right?
Sure,
It's
You could say the horror element is pretty much the Deadites coming to life, but even that's
Right.
fucking funny too, you know?
Oh yeah, I mean, like they use a lot of like stop motion and just like skeleton props, and
no,
they
but,
just
like,
they
I
But
look,
they did like the
they look scary.
the
but
cemetery has like a real
They make 'em
cliche
look
horror trope, you know, it has like the gargoyles sitting there, guarding the fucking book and shit.
But I think this is like fantasy comedy adventure, because even in like the realm of fantasy, you've got the undead, you've got all these like tropes and shit. So
ye olde times. I mean, well, like this movie, it's kind of hard to pin it down because it does have like so many different things in there. It's fucking got time travel,
right?
It's got the fucking horror elements, the fantasy, the comedy. What am I forgetting here?
See, I always think of
the
like
music score is fucking great. The musical score.
Thank you for bringing up like the sci-fi element with time travel, because I think of this movie and this movie series as, you know, it's, yes, he does transport through time, but it's not through like scientific means. It's through magical means.
Magical. Right.
And so that's why I think like fantasy for a lot of this series.
I see.
But I can
Even
see
though
the
he does
sci-fi
have
angle. Well,
the robot hand,
but that's
and
just
the
like that's just steampunk, dude.
He introduces gunpowder to the primitives.
From Chemistry 101 book. He just so happens to have in his trunk.
next to the fucking Fangoria magazine and
his Coca-Cola bottle and a bunch of rope.
Yeah.
Why do you have all that rope there, Ash?
I need my tools.
Exactly. Dennis Reynolds, serial killer motherfucker.
Time traveler.
Dude, could you guys imagine Dennis fucking time traveling?
Oh, man. Yeah.
Dude, he'd be raping like crazy, dude.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, he'd reinvent the Dennis system. It wouldn't be spelled Dennis anymore. It'd be spelled rape.
The rape system, yeah. Like, basically, man.
Or it would be spelled the implication.
He'd be like the fucking
too many letters,
the golden god of
so I guess the rape anagram I'm thinking about it. So it's like rear end a girl, away from the girl. Pound a girl, escape from girl.
Escape.
Jesus Christ.
Like, could you imagine that guy in like the fucking 1600s, like New England, like just
man, he would
indentured
fucking
servants and
love
stuff.
it.
Like, god damn
Yeah,
it,
he'd be
dude.
dressed like him and Mac in that fucking episode where they're dressed like I mean in the olde times. The implication. Yeah.
Oh, Roland.
He's a real Renaissance man.
Do you want to go over quickly the synopsis of this movie? It is a continuation, literally, from Evil Dead 2.
Mm-hmm.
We do start off with him time traveling.
Where Evil Dead 2 leaves off.
Yeah, there's like a
pretty
recap.
much like they
Well, actually,
reuse
no,
the
there's
same
like a
footage,
total recap,
right?
dude. Because like he goes
Yeah, it's
back,
a
like
recap
he's at
again,
S-Mart, and he's like, I had a job at the S-Mart. My girlfriend Linda, different
Super
actress
hot.
chick. Yeah.
Yeah,
She's
the
dead.
third actress to play Linda.
Right.
And just so happens to be someone who becomes pretty famous with Jane Fonda, who was a fan and just wanted to be a part of the movie. She didn't even have any lines.
No.
I think she screamed maybe.
Yeah.
I think it's
But that's
Bridget,
about it.
I think
She was
it's
in, like,
Bridget
2
Fonda,
scenes.
dude. It's not Jane
Bridget Fonda. It's that Jane
Fonda.
Fonda. I'm thinking the exercise
I
lady.
know. I was like,
Yeah,
what?
no, you're thinking
Jane-
the Vietnam protester bitch, dude. Like,
Bridget Fonda.
Jane Fonda.
Exactly.
Who is Jane Fonda? She's the exercise lady, right?
no,
she's
an actress.
Yeah, she's
dude.
but I know her from all the exercise videos that she had on
I didn't
VHS.
know she had
Wasn't
exercise
she,
videos, dude. I just like also know her from what's that Netflix series with that other?
She's like a protest lady. Yeah.
Yeah. She's
Well, no,
famous
she's
for
like
getting.
she's the straight lady in that fucking Netflix series. God damn it, with
Lily Tomlin.
yeah, fucking.
I don't remember the name of it, but I know which one you're talking about. But yes, she's all the things we literally just said. She's like the activist lady. She's the exercise lady,
but
and she's an
it's-
actress.
But
as well.
no, but Bridget Fonda is a different chick.
No, yes, I know, but
Yes.
the Jane
Bridget
Fonda that we're
Fonda's all
talking
that-
about
okay.
is all those things, though. But Bridget Fonda is somebody different. Yes,
Okay,
that is my
word.
mistake.
Wouldn't it be funny if it was Jane Fonda though?
That would be fun.
Just a huge fan. Okay, so the one-liner for this one is Army of Darkness is a sardonic hardware store clerk is accidentally transported to 1300 AD, where he must retrieve the Necronomicon and battle an army of the dead so he can return home.
That's basically it. Yeah.
Yeah.
And of course, how did he get? How did he travel back in time to begin with?
He wasn't he like beating the demonic spirits or whatever, the spirit of the deadite.
They're pretty much going to swallow him whole.
Yeah,
right?
it opened a portal.
He was fighting like that big tree thing, and then all of a sudden, like he beat her off somehow. And then,
that girl read the last letter.
He beat it off, and then.
Yeah,
but I guess she fucked it up because then like this little
she
portal
did the same
opens
thing,
up,
like and he got fucked.
and it sucks in a bunch of shit, including Ash and his fucking car.
Yeah.
And he ends
that's
up in
another
like the
gag that I wasn't
1300s.
aware of. Apparently, Sam Raimi's car is in like every
bunch of movies. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like every one of his movies.
So
Apparently,
they mentioned
that
Spider-Man.
beat-up piece
Was
of
that the
shit.
fucking car that Uncle Ben got like shot in or whatever? Or next to
Spider-Man,
like,
the Spider-Man series? Maybe, dude. I mean, he did drive around a jalopy. Are you looking for the fucking picture?
Now I kind of want to watch the Spider-Man series again. I kind of want to watch it. I didn't say I really want to watch it. You know what? I'll start with Darkman first and just watch Darkman.
Everything about the first 3 Spider-Man movies was great, with the exception of
the dance.
Well, I was gonna say with the exception of Spider-Man and Mary Jane. Like everything else is awesome. The villain in the first, Willem Dafoe, was fucking hilarious. In the second one, it was the guy that played Dr. Octopus was fuck.
The Latino.
Alfred,
Yeah.
Fiddler on the Roof, motherfucker.
He was the shit. He was fucking awesome.
Alfred Molina.
Yes, thank you. He was amazing, like fucking cool as shit. So fucking iconic. In the third one, I mean, by that point they kind of sold it. It was Toby.
You invoked Darkman.
It was
which
Topher
is
Grace.
Fucking. I Wikipedia'd fucking Sam Raimi on the side earlier. And
he worked on. He just finished working on Darkman before.
No, the thing is, like, he tried to get the rights for the fucking Shadow.
Oh wow!
But he couldn't.
Fuck, dude, that would have been cool.
He decided to invent his own fucking superhero, the fucking Darkman, and then he fucking off of the bank from that, he was able to do this fucking gem of a movie. And according to Wikipedia, that like he's
Darkman,
still like working on.
Like
apparently he's got secured like some access to the rights for the Shadow. But like they're still like, and this is like 2006 or something like that. But so probably in the wind now. But
who knows? I mean, like,
but they're like trying to still like.
Series,
apparently, Sam Raimi is
quite
still
some time,
down for like the Shadow because he loves the character, which is fucking awesome.
I think I remember now when we reviewed the Shadow. Was it last year?
Yeah, for your birthday last year.
It was the Shadow and the Rocketeer. But I remember reading now. I was just gonna say that I thought the rights had like either been up for grabs or some such. But I remember when I looked through IMDb that there was actually I think like a straight to DVD movie of the Shadow that had either been put out that same year or the year before.
If Roland, if this is accurate, we need to find this movie, dude, because
but like it was bad. It looked like just looking at the poster, it looked. I
didn't stutter, motherfucker.
I know, but that's a good point. That's a good point. But I was just thinking maybe they probably just released it since they could keep the rights. You know how like some studios will do that shit. Under contract they have to
have to throw out some trash just to keep the rights to the project.
Do that.
Like with the Wheel of Time project, man.
So are we gonna do? This kind of off topic, but on topic, kind of the Phantom with Billy Zane.
Oh, fucking love that movie's awesome. Are you kidding? Shit. Sure, I'm down.
Because it feels like fits in the whole Rocketeer, Shadow, Phantom.
I mean, like that. It fits into that time period of superheroes. Not the Spirit. We're not doing the Spirit.
No,
okay, just saying that right now.
Is literally one of my fucking favorite fucking guilt movies, dude. I love that fucking movie. Yeah, dude.
I forget if I saw that in theaters.
Related to the conversation about like studios putting out trash just to keep the rights to a part of intellectual property,
a franchise.
So with the Wheel of Time property,
those
it was
assholes
like
did that
Red
shit.
Dragon Entertainment, I believe it was called, put out like a 20-minute fucking shithole like shot in a bathroom. Like our podcast, even our early podcast, sounded better than this shit.
Yeah,
but they basically just had
because they're fucking pricks.
Some random guy and Billy Zane in this like 2-man act. That's basically the prologue of the fucking series, and it was fucking cool to see that happen. And but it was like so crappily done. But it was just one of those like quick like, we have to throw out something by midnight of this date, elsewise we have to like surrender the fucking rights to this property.
I mean, they're working on it now, and the cast looks pretty nifty.
Right. So like Amazon has like now acquired the rights or whatever for it.
Yeah, they got those fucking Bezos bucks.
Because, but this earlier project was like what, like 2010 or something like that.
I want to say something like that. It's forgettable because like. It's intentional trash.
Billy Zane, dude, and he was the fucking Phantom. So I was like,
Billy Zane's great and everything, like, but it's still just like, you know, to him, I assume it was just another job.
Even Titanic. He's actually fantastic in Titanic.
He's actually, he's not bad, but like, but I think that's because
I'll never admit to it. Never.
But I'm saying that's because he was the Phantom.
No, once.
Yeah,
exactly.
I just love that movie so much. It's like Billy Zane can do no wrong. Like,
do either of you guys know?
You can go out and poison the elderly, and I'll be like, Billy Zane, you should be a free man.
I think the last thing I saw Billy Zane in was in Archer, the animated series, where he has like a cameo as himself or whatever.
Oh no shit, that's awesome.
Yeah, I think he was like supposed to be a spy, pretending to be a spy or pretending to be an actor or something like that, and it's some fucking silly shit. I think he's friends with Archer or I forget, but he has an episode and it's fucking hilarious.
Well, of course you have to be friends with Archer, like. Billy Zane, dude.
Do either of you guys know if the Darkman sequels were directed by Sam Raimi or if they were?
That I'm unaware of. I don't know. I honestly don't think so.
I didn't think so either, and I have the fucking like the set around here somewhere.
You're telling me you've been in possession of the Darkman like
quadrilogy?
What the fuck it is?
I think it's 4.
And we haven't seen this shit?
Roland, we could fucking screen share this shit, you know.
You fucking failed Cinekuest, bro.
Dude.
Damn. That would have been a good superhero film, I guess. We can still do that, though, because it's another series.
You can do a lot of things, Roland.
I need to get another SATA cable so I can actually, because the CD drive in my computer is inactive right now, so I need to get a cable, plug that bitch in, and we can crack it out, or ask Jamie to throw it on Plex.
You can do that too.
I don't know. I think I've seen the second and third Darkman movies sequels. I don't think I watched the fourth, but I never actually stopped to think if Raimi had a hand in them or not. I want to say no though.
Well, I mean, he was already directing.
Yeah, but he was sort of like catapulting into his fame and shit. You know, because they even mentioned like with Army of Darkness how he changed his like some of his directing styles, some of his shooting styles, and so forth. Like he started like maturing into like all the tropes that people appreciate about him like later on in his directing career.
The action motion cameras or whatever, where he has like arrows
falling
or
projectiles.
like
like it came up in Spider-Man with a little like shit that Goblin threw at Spidey.
Oh right, yeah,
like that. Like the fucking Raimi vision kicked in.
Right, yeah. That shit really kicked off when he started doing TV. Right, when he started doing like Hercules
and Xena and shit.
Did he do
Jack of all trades?
What is it? That fucking show with where Bruce Campbell was like in a
Jack of all trades
Western.
Oh, in Western. Bubba Hotep.
No, man, not Bubba. Bubba Hotep's not a Western, dude.
I'm aware of that project actually, Ray, because I knew that Bruce Campbell did Burn Notice, which I watched most of the seasons.
Oh man, I saw most.
Cool.
I think I saw like 4 of them. That thing lasted for like 7 years.
Yeah, he was in it for 7 years, but like he was fantastic in it. Like for the chunks I watched,
he was pretty fucking funny. Oh, I know what you're talking about, Ray. What the fuck was it called? Hold on.
I always forget the name of the show.
Yeah,
it's The Adventures of something.
Oh
The
shit!
Adventures of the Briscoe County Jr.
Yes, that came with the Wikipedia. Fuck, man. I remember that. I never watched it, but I remember that coming up.
I don't know. No, I never saw it either because it was only out for 1 year. Doesn't look like Raimi was involved though.
No.
Dude, but Raimi was involved in a bunch of trash, dude. Roland, did you know he was involved in Legend of the Seeker?
Really?
Yes.
Oh, that's a bummer. That sucks.
Like, I think he was like one of the executive producers on it.
he was
shit.
also involved in the Spider-Man trilogy, which really wasn't that great.
Do you,
Yeah,
do you
but
think Sam Raimi's film stylings they don't translate well to like a lot of different variety of types of movies or TV shows?
You have to stick to action for like that. Like anytime there's like you have to have combat in your in the movies for like Raimi shit to work because like corpses flying or people that are going to soon be corpses flying or the undead flying and then projectiles flying and shit like with the Raimi vision. Because I think like some of the Raimi visions also like the in-frame shots of people just going, "Whoa!" It's like the John Woo stuff, like
those portrait zoom in or profile zoom in shots.
Yeah, so it's like stuff like that. So it's like, but even then, it's like John Woo isn't directing like fucking romance movies, right? Like, is it like the guy like picks the chick up and then like throws her at the bed, but the bed's like 14 feet away, so she like flies. Like, is that the only way that like John Woo or like a Raimi shot works in a romance? Like, I don't know, man. Because like, how else would that be applicable? Like a political drama, a rom-com, like the kisses, like the lips. It just doesn't work, man.
One of the persons that I would like to bring up, who's like one of the unsung heroes in this movie, is Ted Raimi.
Yeah,
who plays multiple characters.
He's an unsung hero in this movie. But
I guess
Raimi production. Jesus
but in Army
Christ,
Darkness, he plays 4 different roles.
Yeah, what does he play? Where is Ted Raimi?
Well,
he's mainly the cowardly warrior.
He's at the very end. He's the guy that
he's
Bruce
the
Campbell's
board,
telling the
like,
story to.
stock boy.
Right, yeah. He's also the co-worker.
Sales associate.
No,
right.
He's a stock boy. They brought up in the documentary.
Another one, he's the I guess the normal warrior when he's like, you have my sword and you have my steel and then
they really give him shitty wigs.
Yeah, and like
and the makeup was like identical as far as like the nose shit from like the like scared knight to the regular villagers. Like, I've got your back, like
he. I still think he's funniest in the end when he does the voiceover for that one skeleton as they're running away.
Let's get the hell out of here.
Let's get the hell out of here.
Oh, is that Ted Raimi also?
Yeah,
that's funny.
I think that was him. It was either him or Sam, but I'm pretty sure it was Ted.
That was Ted. Like Sam's like big thing was like Evil Ash to the end. He's getting like launched and shit. Like that was totally fucking Sam.
Hilarious. Let's get the hell out of here.
Yeah, but get the hell out of here. Yeah, no, that was Ted,
just like tough ass looking fucking skeletons or whatever, and they're squeaky and
like, I love how all of us laughed where like in the battle scene where all the skeletons are showing up near the castle, and there's one who just opens his mouth like slowly and just like
this is because it just looks so goofy. Yeah, you see everybody behind it, and then this one.
It's just fucking awesome, man.
Just fucking hearing that sounds funny.
Yeah, this movie's so fucking funny. It's hard to point to one specific or pick like one's favorite scene or one favorite line. There's just so many. What I would love to see though is
because in the documentary they talked about how when it came to the editing floor, the money pimp was like, nah, we need to chop a bunch of stuff. And so it became a negotiation of like, okay, well, maybe 2 skeletons should explode in the scene rather than 5. It's like, right. So I want to see that OG version where it's like skeletons going kablammy all over the place, man. Like
they cut a lot of scenes and wasted a lot of good costumes and good effects and shit that I mean, they spent fucking $12 million, and apparently even towards the end, they ran out of money. And
and actually,
I think what was the joke? Sam Raimi was like, "So we're gonna film this. We ran out of money. We're gonna film this in a bathroom, in a restroom." And
actually, towards the project, like the Wikipedia did inform me that Ted and Sam and Bruce put about $1 million up to help the productions I think there was a joke in the documentary where like Bruce was like talking about how like little he was paid for this, like but part of that was because the
crew were complaining about that as well.
But him and the Raimis shucked up some bills apparently, if the Wikipedia is true on that. Some of $1 million. So like of the was like $11.5 million for this movie. 10.5 was original budget, and the rest was like the love of those 3 dudes, and that's pretty crazy to think about, dude.
Because like after the fact, I mean, Bruce Campbell himself has said like, I fucking hated like putting myself through this movie, like I'll never and he never did anything like that again.
And it was funny. It was great in that documentary too, because like Campbell was like making fun of like other actors, like talk about like their hard acting conditions, and he was like, "Fuck you, pussies!" Like, I did this.
It's cold out here. It's hot.
Cold.
He's like,
"Fuck you,
the fuck?
Yeah,
you bitch, get out of here."
Fucking hilarious.
Yeah. And I mean, like looking at it, it really gives you a very good idea of just like what the fuck, like of all the shit these guys put themselves through. To put this to fucking finish this movie. And I mean, that's why I was making the joke earlier about how this is like fucking Peter Jackson style kind of shit. If Peter Jackson decided to make a fucking comedy horror or whatever.
He kind of did that.
With Frighteners, yeah, but in the vein of Lord of the Rings.
Okay, but if
what
he
I
didn't
was
have CGI,
because it was just like the scale of this shit.
No, dude, if he didn't have CGI, it'd be the same movie basically.
Yeah,
because the
true.
CGI in 8,000 other people
this was all pretty much practical effects and like camera tricks,
so
stop
think
motion.
If Lord of the Rings was done without the aid of CGI, dude, how many people can they really get on horses and stuff? It'd be probably similar to this project, because
it would have been like triple the budget.
Well, once again, think about old money versus like now money. This was $11.5 million back in the day. Like, what's that in like 2003 money when Lord of the Rings was going to pop off? Like, and if they didn't have computer aided effects, like, well, 1, Gollum would look stupid as fuck. 2, the fucking armies would be a whole lot smaller.
What if they just made Gollum like stop motion? I mean, do you think that could have worked?
Oh, dude, probably, dude. If they kept him like in the dark and shit, and didn't like go and like all this like weird, smash that fish upon a rock, it's juicy, it's so sweet, bullshit. It'd probably been fine actually, because like when I read The Hobbit as a kid, fucking Gollum was terrifying, dude. Like he was bad fucking news, man. And it's the way that Tolkien was able to cast that figure, man. It was just like he was like a specter in the fucking books, almost. Right. And he was in just like a real quick little fart of a scene, man. It's fucking wild, but still he's like impactful.
Roland brought up a website that calculates what $11 million would have been from 1993 to 2005, and apparently it comes out to $14.7 million.
It's not a huge difference.
Okay,
but I still would have said double that, because if I think Peter Jackson would have spent more money having to use practical effects instead of CGI.
Right, because it would have been the same
you gotta
boat.
Pay people to actually make these things.
Even though you do have to pay a shitload of money to do very good convincing CGI, I still don't think that compares to actual bodies on the ground.
Right, so maybe these were actually kind of a
because
equivalent
it takes
movies
more
as far as the
time
budget and stuff, because you have all the CGI effects and like the Lord of the Rings movies, but then
with the
versus
CGI,
like all of the money.
You don't have to have reshoots, or you don't have to you can't fuck up a take necessarily.
Right.
I would expect.
And then they
or worry about the lighting so much. And
they had to like keep reassembling their fucking puppets and shit. So like that's man hours and time lost.
Yeah, like they beat the the prop guys were saying, they beat the shit out of all of their.
They broke swords all the time. Yeah,
right. Yeah. I mean,
and then
there's actually there's evidence of
effects for the like actors that. They just put like masks on and shit and makeup up and shit. So there was all the puppeteering, which was fucking extensive as fuck in this movie. But then they also had like the live action actors.
That's true.
Like, fuck, dude. Just like the amount of fucking just time spent with people in chairs putting stuff on them, or like affixing puppets, like whether they're like blown apart or just like making them work. Like, just god damn, the amount of work into this movie is just like, I don't think you could get away with that anymore. I think people just bitch because they're so lazy. Like,
I think they had made a point of saying that they were underpaid and also were non-unionized at the time.
Yeah. Like one guy was like, "Man, I wish I was union because I'd be a millionaire now," or something like that. With all the hours he put in that movie.
Now that wouldn't be possible, and with good reason, because like imagine being out in the fucking desert like nowadays, they would be cooked alive. Like the fucking temperatures are completely different from fucking 30 years ago.
I'm pretty sure they would have some kind of tent.
They have those little hand fans or whatever.
Yeah. With the spray or the spray bottle attached to it.
Oh yeah. Oh, those are great. No, like they'd be cooked alive.
Well, talking about the practical effects, I mean, a lot of it was done even by the director and just by cast and crew, especially with the scene where the book is flying in Bruce Campbell's face.
Oh yeah,
that shit was just on a stick.
Apparently, Sam Raimi took any chance that he could to physically beat the shit out of Bruce Campbell. There was that scene, where they tied it to a stick.
Well, and apparently there's other scenes where like they were proposed or they actually shot them, where Sam had no intention of ever actually like putting this into the movie. He just wanted to fuck with Bruce.
What did he make him do? I think he made him like cluck like a chicken and like dance around with like he had his foot nailed to the floor or something.
Oh yeah. So first it was like, pretend you're a chicken and cluck like it, and then run in a circle like you have a nail, like a nail stuck in one of your feet.
Is nailed to the ground. And then
did all this shit and they shot it, and he's just like, I'm never going to use this. Like,
it's good to be king, isn't it, buddy?
Yeah.
No, yeah. So like any scene where like a rock or something gets thrown at Sam,
or what about
Campbell,
the scene where all the skeleton hands are like poking him in the eyes, shoving up his mouth
when he's in the leaving the graveyard, and he gets slapped around by the skeleton hands. By something off screen. I just picture Sam Raimi like this fucking slapping him with shit.
Oh, so like apparently when the Necronomicon's floating around and like hitting Bruce, apparently the scenes where it's really whacking him, that's when Sam was like, "Let me see that."
Yeah. He takes it from him. He's like, "Hold on." Here, let me.
But apparently, like they've been buddies for like ever. Like, because on the Wikipedia for Sam Raimi, the first guy cited with the world of like film when his dad brought home a Super 8, and he and his buddy Bruce Campbell would go and like do shit with that.
Bruce Campbell's had cameos in most of Sam Raimi's shit.
Right.
Yeah.
Like
pretty much.
Like
I mean, Bruce Campbell and
like
Ted
there's
Raimi.
It's like for a Sam Raimi movie, you have to have the fucking car and Bruce Campbell. Otherwise, it's not a fucking Sam Raimi movie.
Yeah, that's right. Those three things constitute a Sam Raimi film.
Raimi.
Or two people and one thing, excuse me.
What? Who's the other person?
It's Sam Raimi, it's Bruce Campbell, Ted Raimi. And
Ted,
the car.
Oh, word.
And his beat up ass car.
I think we can segue into trivia.
Oh, geez.
With that,
so much.
Fuck yeah.
So
let's get at it.
Apparently, all three Evil Dead films can be seamlessly cut together, and which fans have done through some introductory footage. of the sequels is lost. Well, that's basically the recap for each movie. You can pretty much cut it into one giant fucking movie because the story just continues on. And again, you mentioned it was the Oldsmobile, the beat up Oldsmobile that's in all of his movies.
Yeah.
Most of his early busted ass movies.
And the way they made the quote unquote chainsaw, again, these are good things to take note of, because if you want to like make a film and you don't have much money, there's ways to get around a lot of shit. So basically, the Bruce Campbell says that in order to make it appear that the chainsaw was always running, the tobacco smoke was pumped through a tube that was slid up under his right pant, up his shirt, and into the chainsaw. Pretty nice. And the Fangoria magazine that we see in his trunk,
trunk of his car,
was director Sam Raimi showing his gratitude for the publications, including the original Evil Dead in 1981.
Nice.
When it was initially premiered. So that's just him paying some tribute to them. And he said, Bruce Campbell says that he was displeased with the studio's delayed release of the film and its re-editing of it. And he stated that he wasted a year of his life waiting for the film to get released into cinemas. So basically it was because he was doing promotions and shit? Is that why?
No, so like they say it in the documentary, the original producer, what's his name? Mr. Italian, what the fuck was his name?
I think go down, I think it's right there. No. They mention it.
Dino De Laurentiis. He had a lawsuit going on with Universal because he felt he owned the rights to the Silence of the Lambs with a show or a movie that he'd done called was it Maneater or Manhunter?
Manhunter.
Yeah, Manhunter.
Yeah. So that ended up, because of that, like it was ongoing for some time. Both of those movies, Silence of the Lambs and Army of Darkness, got tied up in limbo until they finally, I guess, settled. And I want to say Universal won that because that was when Army of Darkness went into the final edits, when they started cutting scenes and splicing shit together. And that's when like Universal started like really fucking with the movie and taking scenes out and like changing the ending and, having them come back and do, I guess, reshoots and whatnot. And that was where Bruce Campbell was kind of like, well, fuck guys, like we did all this and like, not, like so far after the fact and you're coming to change it. And then he even says it's like, well, I guess like that's the way the game goes. They paid all this money, so they're gonna do whatever the fuck they want.
Well, and he at one point was like something to the tune of do all movies go to the reshoots? And then he was like, turns out, like that's generally the case. Like,
I mean, like we've got the fucking Snyder cut right now. It's gonna be 4 hours or some kind of bullshit.
But I could understand his frustration because
right, yeah, because they'd spent so much time on something that should have been finished.
It should have been like just chop it up a little bit and throw it out. But no, it went to this like weird long process of like reshoots and stuff.
Reshoots, politics, mostly the original.
Reshoots, like maybe that part of like that was he was like a novice actor still at that point because all his previous projects was like Sam Raimi going like, good enough, right? Yeah, cool. All right, let's throw it out.
I mean, yeah. Well,
like they also had to fuck with like the ratings board for Army of Darkness, which Raimi dodged around with Evil Dead 1 and 2, and just released them as unrated. So they had all that bullshit working against them as well.
All right. Speaking of like the names of the movie, the original.
Oh yeah.
Sam Raimi wanted to call it originally Medieval Dead.
Word.
But the Universal Pictures refused to do that, so of course he titled it Army of Darkness.
Well,
but then they wanted Evil Dead 3 Army of Darkness, but then they just shortened it up to Army of Darkness.
Yeah, because they didn't want to like associate with
UK
like
version,
1 and 2.
In the UK version, they call it Army of Darkness: The Medieval Dead.
So what is it says here, it was titled on screen as Bruce Campbell versus Army of Darkness.
Yes.
Yeah, but I think that's when like the title screen comes off, is because it says Bruce Campbell versus Army of Darkness.
Yeah.
But I don't, that's not like technically the official title of the movie.
No, and I can only assume that like the TV series was like a throwback to that.
Ash versus Evil Dead. I thought that too when I was watching that.
Either
intro.
that or it's an homage to the comics that they made after this, because there have been a lot of like Evil Dead comic books that were made. Well, I mean, I want to say a good amount. I'm not sure if there was a lot. I've seen a few. There was one that was like Ash versus Jason versus Leatherface or something like that.
I actually have an issue number 1 of Ash versus Army of Darkness.
Nice.
Graded, but the fucking graded plot encasing cracked. So it was like a 9.5 graded comic book. So I was like, motherfucker, it's there, but it's cracked. So I don't. It's probably fucking worthless.
Set it on fire. No,
I don't want to do that. It would still be worth something, you know. It's been in its encasing. It's still there, you know. But I had it stupidly.
It's cryogenic.
Sitting on top of some thumbtacks on the wall, and then the door closed, and it just went.
Oh
man, it hurt. It hurt really bad when that happened. I paid like $60 for that fucking thing.
And from then on, Ray was impotent. My sperms.
I've never been able to get hard since.
I mean,
there you have it, folks.
It seems appropriate. I understand, Ray. I don't sympathize, but I understand.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's horrible.
You're a terrible person, Roland.
I am. Always.
So apparently Tracy Lords auditioned for the role of Sheila.
Jesus.
And she would later play the wife of Bruce Campbell's character in Autolycus in Sam Raimi's Hercules. Autolycus.
Oh, you mean in Autolycus? You mean in...
Well, I think Tracy Lords, I think, is just going to automatically called like Lickus, you know?
Yeah, Chungus Lickus.
Katunkus.
Big Nuttus. Yeah, you're talking about...
Clitucus.
Yikes. I dare any of you to find the Clitucus. So that was he was Autolycus in it was either Xena or the Hercules, right? I forget which. Or both, because they were a connected series. I want to say he was in the Xena TV series as Autolycus. And Ted Raimi was Joxer in that one. It was weird enough, like that Lucy Lawless had like a romantic subplots with both of them. I think at some point, like separately.
I wouldn't mind
that. I don't think they did,
Well,
I'm
no, dude.
sure.
It's Lucy Lawless, dude. That's on my list of like, hey, if I ever get a chance, like, don't be mad, girlfriend, right?
She's
her and Battlestar Galactica
your free
and
card.
Ash vs. Evil Dead, dude. Man, Lucy Lawless still looking good, dude. It's just like, fuck,
She's
man.
ageless. Yeah,
very much
is.
so. Yes.
I
will agree with that.
I'm willing to learn, Lucy, just so you know. I'm willing to learn. Just let me know how to love you. And
right.
Well, we'll find out if you get some action from some spiritual action from Marky Mark or Mark Wahlberg whenever.
If I can be
listen to that episode.
Can be half as smooth as Marky Mark, I think I have a chance. But I don't have the hair though, so I have to like beanie up or bandana up and like act a little tougher than I am. You know, like I'm a streetwise like lad. This, you know.
I'm real soft spoken, but the ladies love me.
But I'm street tough, you know. And
before we go into quotes,
I have an advanced degree in molecular biology as well. And
I wanted to talk about the poster itself and
oh yes,
kind of the design of that, which is classic. I used to have that poster. I really need to buy another one,
dude. I want one that for my fucking wall. Like I love that fucking poster, and I also love like the fucking earlier Evil Dead ones as well, dude. Like
oh yeah, for sure, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Things are hot.
I think they mentioned it in the documentary how the poster came to be. Isn't it like it's like a tribute to is it like Star Wars kind of thing?
I thought it was.
I don't remember if they mentioned that, but like yeah, it totally has that Star Wars vibe, man.
Right.
Star
And of course,
Wars, Conan the
in the
Barbarian.
poster, Bruce Campbell is buff, muscular, ripped shirt.
Well, I mean,
You mean
that's
he
how
isn't
he
like
is
that in real
already.
life? I'm pretty sure
like
those
that's
outfits
I'm
are
that's
pretty
what
sure
I saw, man.
those pecs were real.
They
Maybe the
are.
arms are just a little bit embellished, but I think the pecs themselves,
No.
that was legit.
Well, no, dude. They said he had
does
a
say that.
fucking. How do we know really? Because he had that long shirt in the movie, but like, you look at like his wrists and shit. Like he's ripped, dude. Like what they
You know what?
expose.
It
Yeah,
takes
dude.
a strong ass fucking arm to carry that fucking chainsaw.
That's right.
That
And
chainsaw's fucking heavy, dude.
It takes a strong ass nub arm to carry that
And he's
chainsaw.
just like, dude, it's a feather. Let me do
Yeah,
art with it
exactly.
with blood.
Right. I'm gonna sign my name.
And on top of that, uses his left hand to like grab onto things and can hold himself up.
Where he does the Indiana Jones belt whip.
Exactly, yeah.
And like pulls himself up by his own.
Oh, speaking of left-handedness, so apparently Bruce
His own
Campbell is
petard.
left-handed. But
yeah,
in
that's
the
right.
scene towards the end of the movie where there's the two-handed sword fight thing, apparently
they said
his
they wanted
stunt
to do a
double is
Fred
right-handed.
Astaire. Yeah.
And so apparently there's some like difficulties for him, but they never explained that, which I was like, okay, well, like you're still wielding two swords, fighting two guys. Like, what's it matter if like you're not dominant in the other one? Neither is Bruce. Like, why are you bitching? And they never resolved that in the fucking documentary. But it was like the guy made a point, like, well, I'm left-handed and Bruce is, or I'm right-handed.
Yeah,
and Bruce
I don't
is
know if that
left,
had
and
anything to
there
do
was
with anything. The main
complication.
problem they had
And it's like,
was
dude.
they wanted to do that scene in one take, which was like, nope, good luck. And
Well, yeah,
that's
they
when they ended
breaking
up
up into
splitting
a
it up.
bunch. Yeah.
What was the joke? Sam Raimi was like, "Yep, well, I guess we'll just have to split it up into 1,000 pieces, or something like that." and yeah, it did look bad. So it was like, okay, nope, that's fine. That's fine. It's is really, guys, like it's supposed to be funny. You don't really.
So
we don't
before
need to
you go
for
into
fucking
your next
accuracy.
crazy section, Ray, I'm gonna pee. But Roland, Babylon.
Yeah. Okay. So it's not like anybody's gonna watch this fucking like expecting full immersion. You know, oh my god, that fucking armor. Or you're gonna have somebody say like they went to medieval England, and all of a sudden they look at the fucking castle and say, "Nah, that's a Spanish design castle. That's not English." You know, like
Only a fucking dick bag would do that.
exactly. They exist.
Do you think
not
someone? Do
high.
you really think someone was actually watching this and going like, I feel
Oh.
like the castles themselves don't fit the architecture of old medieval England. This seems more Spanish to me.
If they were, they'd be wearing a fucking like fedora and like an ascot around
scarf,
their neck,
a
a scarf, as they
for
were
sure,
saying
scarf.
this shit.
And they'd be carrying a flamenco guitar in the back.
As they're filing their nails because they don't use a pick. to play that shit. You know, they
gotta have those long ass fucking nails and shit.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, no, what the fuck? Like, you're not gonna fucking watch this and like expect a super authentic fucking sword fighting.
You can't go into this movie expecting to. If you're like a pretentious person,
go watch something else.
Go watch something else.
If
like
you're a pretentious person,
immediately.
you're not gonna watch the Evil Dead series to begin with. You might watch RoboCop for you Criterion snobs out there, I guess, but you know. No, this ain't it.
Criterion. Yeah, that's true. Actually, though, you know what I found out that was on Criterion, which kind of shocked me a bit.
Oh,
fuck! I had it in my head. It's not like a Jackie Chan movie. It's not. Fucking hell! What was it called?
Hard Target.
No, that'd be fucking cool if that was the case. I'll get back to you on that. There's a Criterion movie that I was fucking shocked that was actually a Criterion movie. But yeah, you can probably find it. Recent ones, I guess.
Time Bandits?
No, it wasn't Time Bandits.
It should be, because, yeah.
No, none of these. That's none of these. No.
Oh, man, I didn't know Yojimbo was Criterion. No shit. Wow, okay, interesting. I've always been meaning to check that one out.
None of those.
No?
No. Nope.
Boop, boop, boop.
No. Well, if I'll remember it. When I see it again, I'll check it out.
Is it in the... Let's see.
But, Roland, since you're on the internet, you can check out what movies came out in 1992.
Oh, yeah.
Whenever Army of Darkness showed up. into theaters because, again, I only saw the poster, did not watch the movie, and I was under the impression as a child that
it's rated R. I'm not old enough to see this.
Not because I didn't feel I was old enough to see it. I mean, they probably thought it was like violent.
That's right. I'm still a growing boy.
And it's not PG-13, like your tender age of 13.
Right? Fuck.
Movies that came out in 1992.
Fucking toys.
Dracula.
Yikes. Batman Returns.
Twin Peaks.
Wow.
Batman Returns. And like you mentioned, toys. I like toys. Have you seen the toys?
Yeah. I watched it once and that was all I needed. That movie was a trip.
Fucking LL Cool J.
Oh, fuck.
Cool
I
World.
always thought toys was just like Robin Williams, like stint at Willy Wonka or some shit.
My girlfriend just was texting me about how she like fell into like a music dive of LL Cool J, dude.
That's hilarious.
Yeah, so like for that to come up, I was like, wow, just.
It's a nice time to take a drive and listen to Going Back to Cali from LL Cool J.
She cited that song as well, dude. And I was like, I was like, dude, Phenomenon's awesome. And she was like, oh fuck, looking it up now. Like, yeah.
So back to the movies. Encino Man, the classic. Sean Astin, Pauly Shore, Brendan Fraser.
That's right.
Flick. Lawnmower Man. We've discussed Lawnmower Man in the past.
Yes.
We had an episode on it. Fuck yeah, we did.
We did.
We will have.
We didn't have an episode, but we talked about it extensively.
We will have an episode at some point, but we're going to start with Lawnmower Man 2 first.
Wait, we didn't do a Lawnmower episode?
No, we just
didn't,
talked.
No. We mentioned it a lot.
Yeah, when we were talking about Virtuosity, I think.
Holy shit.
Right, because
I totally
that's
thought
right.
we did an episode. Oh, wow.
No, we were talking about it.
Holy shit. Are you for real?
Yeah, because we mentioned part 2 a lot because that's when all the virtual reality shit happens.
Yeah.
And then, of course, Lawnmower Man.
Did an episode.
No, it happens in Lawnmower Man 2 as well.
Because we were looking at like when the movies were released.
I didn't realize that the kid that comes in part 2 of Lawnmower Man was also the same kid from the original Lawnmower Man.
We've totally done an episode of this shit, man.
We have not.
No,
we have not. No,
sir.
sir. We have not.
What?
We have not.
You've been smoking too much of the good stuff. Stop being stingy and share. All right, it's affecting you. All right, I can see it. You have a problem. What else?
This is not a podcast. This is an intervention. Candyman.
Fucking rude, man.
We're intervening on your stash.
Roland, give us the next movie.
Not your
that came
mustache,
out.
because that's already gone. Woo!
You don't have to be fucking mean about it, man.
Okay, so yeah, Candyman, Reservoir Dogs, which Ray, that's not one of your.
That's one of my favorites.
Your
I like
favorites,
it a lot.
yeah.
The Unforgiven,
That was
Sleepwalkers,
right.
Death Becomes Her is a great movie.
Oh man, that's the. Okay, so like last time we were covering on like Lou Diamond Phillips's like wackiest role. This is like fucking Bruce Willis is one of his wackiest goddamn. Because like the first time I saw this movie, I didn't even think it was him. Like
he looked too much like a fucking nerd.
Yeah,
Okay.
he looked fucking sad. Yeah,
Gentlemen.
exactly. And I was like,
my apologies. We've totally not done a fucking episode on this. I just checked the website, poured over.
Daniel's doing a
there
deep
must be
dive
a
into the archives.
Yeah. Holy shit. How have we? So my second question is, or my question after that is, how have we not done an episode on Lawnmower Man, dude? That movie's fucking awesome, man.
Well, it's come up quite a bit.
It would have to be a double feature.
He'll show up at some point.
How? But dude,
what's the next movie?
Oh, House Sitter. Under Siege, baby.
There you go, man. Sneakers. Has anyone seen Sneakers?
I don't think
It has
I
Dan
have.
Aykroyd.
dude, Sneakers is
fucking-
amazing, dude. Fuck, dude.
I've never really seen Sneakers.
Dude, Sneakers is awesome, actually. Like that. Yeah, dude. With fucking Robert Redford and shit too.
Robert Redford,
he's the
yeah,
fucking,
River
like, he's like
Phoenix.
the main guy. Yeah, dude. That movie's
Yeah.
fucking dope as fuck, dude. Starts off. They are like running a job where they're like breaking into like a place, getting their security bullshit, and then transferring money out. Next day, fucking Robert Redford shows up with a briefcase and stuff and goes down to this meeting at this like bank or whatever. And it's like, yep, we ganked like, 5 G's from you guys. And they're like, what the fuck? And so they're basically like, cybersecurity fucking, tester dudes in a firm. But then it gets fucking crazy with like, spy action stuff. But But that movie is fucking awesome. Yes. And Dan Aykroyd's a fucking great character in that fucking movie, man. Holy shit. He's great in that.
That movie's just been one that's flown under the radar. Like, I just know of it. I've just never seen it before.
No, dude, like back in the days
You
when
know what,
like,
you know what other movie flew under the radar? I mean, not mine because I didn't care, but A Few Good Men, that's also on here for any of you.
Oh, that movie's good.
That movie's a really good movie, man. I mean, come on. Have you ever seen it?
Yeah. I think I like Three Ninjas better. All right. And,
well, I think we all like Three Ninjas.
It's appropriate. Yes.
I mentioned School Ties before. That has Brendan Fraser, Matt Damon, Ben Affleck comes out too. Like where Brendan Fraser goes to that Catholic private school and he's Jewish.
So like, apparently 91 was a really busy year for Brendan Fraser, man, because he had Encino Man and this movie in 92 had dropped.
Yeah,
dude.
that's true.
Like he had a lot of work. That's awesome.
But we also have a Kurt Russell classic, which is Captain Ron.
Oh,
dude.
you skipped over Lethal Weapon 3,
Have
Ray.
you seen Captain Ron?
I did,
dude?
but I mean, like, Lethal Weapon,
Yeah, who cares?
We have that already.
Roland.
We already know about that.
Roland. Have you seen Captain Ron?
Yeah, not in a long fucking
Dude,
time.
that movie fucking is
It's
so
hilarious.
awesome, dude. Like, who would have thought that Martin Short and fucking Kurt Russell would have been in this, like, amazing, like, kind of like buddy comedy together, man? Like,
Yeah.
it's
It's a fucking cool movie. I haven't seen it.
like, I love that, like, fucking, that one scene in that movie where Kurt Russell's or Captain Ron's like, don't go in the forest, like there's gorillas. And fucking Martin Short's
There
like,
are no
there's
gorillas.
no gorillas here on this like part of the planet or whatever. And the guys with rifles show up, like it's like, oh, gorillas. Shit.
Yeah. He said gorillas, not gorillas.
Yeah, like, he was like adamant.
Huge difference.
Like as he's being captured, it's like, this is bullshit. He said gorillas. Like,
Jackass.
We also have Patriot Games, Wayne's
wow.
World, My Cousin Vinny, Passenger
Wayne's World,
57.
and My Cousin Vinny, and what?
Passenger 57 with Wesley Snipes.
Wow. Dude,
We have White Man Can't Jump.
Yeah.
Single White Female, Buffy the Vampire Slayer, the original.
Word.
Last of the Mohicans.
Last of the Mohicans. The River Runs Through It. I never see that one.
No, I haven't seen that.
Ferngully.
Ferngully,
Yes.
man. That movie's awesome.
Krista's so hot. Anyways.
And
What? The
oh shit! Universal Soldier,
Yes.
Universal
Fuck
fucking
yes,
Soldier,
fuck
What?
Yes,
Yes.
fuck yes.
American Me. Oh, that's a good fucking movie.
I've never seen it.
Bodyguard, classic
the
Whitney,
Bodyguard. Wow.
Classic Costner.
classic.
How dare you?
We have the Mighty Ducks, another fucking classic
Oh my
right
God.
there.
Really? Were you gonna?
We have El Mariachi.
There you go.
We have Basic Instinct, the infamous snatch
That
shot,
scene, yeah.
Oh yeah.
the hand that rocks the cradle, fucking Beethoven.
Yeah.
Remember?
wow.
Didn't we talk about Beethoven? You
I was
mentioned
talking about
Beethoven's
the
second.
sequels. Beethoven's second.
The much maligned Beethoven second.
The much maligned and loved. It's what's that shit called? The Stockholm syndrome or whatever. the abductee becomes enamored of their of the captor. Yes.
We also have the Crying Game, the infamous scene where the dick is revealed. Yeah. And I'll have to say that everyone is shocked about the Crying Game's last scene.
Yeah.
What about Sleepaway Camp's last scene? There was a dick in there too. So I'm going to say that Crying Game ripped off Sleepaway Camp entirely.
Yeah.
If you haven't seen it, please watch it.
Miracle.
We have Rapid Fire too. Rapid Fire, the first one with Brandon Lee, which was pretty cool. Kickboxer 3.
Fucking super
where
cop.
Cody from what's that fucking TGIF show? Step by Step.
Shit.
Yeah. Step by step.
Wow.
Step by Step.
He's
Cody
in
comes
there.
out part
Susan
2, part
Sarandon.
3. Yeah.
What
Was
the
it- wait,
fuck?
no. Is it
Really?
Susan
I've never
Sarandon?
seen that movie.
Fuck,
But
I
like,
forget her
what?
name.
Like, that little dude, man.
So like I said, super cop. All right.
I mean, we need to do a fucking Kickboxer series dedication because I mean, Cody's in there, bro.
Ladybug.
That would be
Cody.
fucking awesome, actually. Yeah.
Kid and Play, Class Act. That's a classic fucking movie.
Honey,
we should
I
watch
Blew
that.
movie's
Up the Kid,
awesome.
which
Honey, I Blew Up the Kid.
Nobody
Fucking great.
hopefully
Cuffs,
remembers.
Christian Slater. Great movie. You
Boomerang.
know, I can see like the choices in 1992 are
fucking
pretty
meatballs.
For like,
Ray.
there's just a lot. Sister
Ray.
Act, fuck yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Dude, who doesn't want to hear Whoopi fucking
dude.
sing? All right, she's fucking great. You know,
That's right.
she sings. She's fucking fantastic.
Yep.
Bring some of the movies down. I just want to hold on. Go back. Did I see Saved by the Bell?
Home Alone 2. Yeah, but that was Hawaiian.
Oh shit! The
what was
Hawaiian
it?
fucking where they got married and shit.
Hawaiian
Oh.
style.
No. It's not when they got married. It's when like they just went to Hawaii.
Yeah.
Oh, when
And they all had jobs at the like hotel or some
yeah,
shit like
dude.
that.
Yeah.
Baby's Kids.
Hell yeah, Baby's Kids is a fucking great
I
one.
love that movie so much. Oh my god, we should do a Baby's
Revenge of the
Kid
Nerds
episode.
3.
There was
Wow.
the fucking Rocky and Bullwinkle side shit. Boris and Natasha.
Oh my god.
Yeah, it was
that was a
horrible.
live action movie
Yeah,
too.
it was
fucking
Oh
crazy.
god, who was in that anyway?
I don't know. Let's see.
Oh my god, we had The Invisible Man with fucking Chevy Chase.
Oh, ugh. Let's see. Hold on, I'll get back to it in a minute. Just let's see. Bunch of nobodies.
John
it looks
Candy.
like. Oh,
Don't say a
fuck,
bunch of
that's
nobodies,
right.
motherfucker.
I mean, he's
John
way at the
Candy's in
bottom.
there.
Sid Haig. John Travolta as himself. Apparently, he has probably a cameo or some shit.
Man, how the fuck did they get Sid Haig and fucking John Travolta? Well, Sid Haig, I can see why. I mean, he probably didn't have like many roles at the time.
Just like a pile
Dave
of cocaine
Thomas,
on a table.
the Wendy's guy.
What?
That's Dave Thompson. Man.
Shut up, Dave Thompson.
We're gonna go into our conspiracy theories about Wendy's and Dave Thompson. Like, that's a fat food episode.
We'll
You
save
should
that
check
for
that out.
later. Yeah. Hold on. Let's see. Hold
But yeah,
on,
there's a
hold on.
shit ton of movies, man. I mean, 1992 was a pretty sweet year for film.
Prolific.
Can you go down a little bit more, Roland? I just want to see go further down that way.
Dramas?
Oh, we have fucking Free Jack with
Oh, shit.
Mick Jagger and fucking Emilio Estevez.
Yeah, that's right. I think I
Fucking
had
crazy.
that. I want to see that
Has
shit.
anyone seen 1492?
Alien 3?
No.
No.
Alien 3. What else here? Oop.
Alien
Say
3
movies
came out
about
in 92?
movies about murder.
Really?
Yes. Murder. Nah, these all look pretty.
The only thing I can see that I remember from there is Mo Money with Damon Wayans.
Man,
Oh,
Damon Wayans
Thunderheart
is
with Val
shit.
Kilmer. That's a badass movie too.
Oh, yeah. Unforgiven.
Okay, let's we can stop reminiscing through all these
1992,
prolific films
great
from
shit.
1992.
Yeah.
Can we? Godzilla versus Mothra? Anyone? Anyone?
Anyone out there? Anyone?
Hellraiser 3, baby.
Oh,
Hell
yeah,
on
that's true.
Earth. Which is right before the best Hellraiser,
Bloodlines.
Bloodlines. Best worse.
Actually, I was revisiting top horror movies that we did, Roland, and that fucking shit with Bloodlines. I was like,
I love it. Oh, man.
just to mention, Son of a Woman came out in fucking 1992 also. Fucking Al Pacino, that other Robin from Batman and Robin.
Christian
That was
Slater.
Alicia
Christian
Silverstone, right?
Slater.
No, it's
Chris O'Donnell.
Silverstone,
There you
I'm telling
go.
you,
The
yeah.
other
I knew it was
Chris.
Chris
Yeah.
O'Donnell,
Chin.
but like, hey.
not Chris.
Ooh-wah.
Yeah, him. Yikes.
Okay, so those are the movies that came out in 1992. Movies can get buried with all these fucking classic films that came out at the time.
Yeah.
So
so
did we have any
many.
quotes that you want to go over? Which or pretty much the whole movie for me personally.
Yeah.
I was.
pretty much.
I mean, I haven't seen this movie intently. Like I haven't like intentionally watched this movie like without any distractions.
Yeah.
This movie's fucking hilarious.
Yeah.
I
She's untied.
Shop smart, shop S-Smart.
Right. You got something on your face.
Hail to the king, baby.
Yeah.
Give me some sugar, baby. First you want to kill me, now you want to kiss me. Blow.
Yeah, fuck yeah. Like, just
line
anytime
delivery is
that
fucking
fucking
fantastic.
Ash spoke in this fucking movie, it was just like gold, dude. Like,
Yeah.
You want a little? What's that? Huh?
yeah.
Let's see.
Who wants some?
What of all those sweet words you spoke in private? Well, that's just what we call pillow talk, baby. That's all. What is it? What does he say? I'm Henry the Red, Duke of Shale, Lord of Northlands, and leader of its peoples. Well, hello, Mr. Fancy Pants. I've got news for you, pal. You ain't leading but two things right now, Jack and shit.
And Jack left town.
town.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say that sounds like a bit of a homage to They Live. I'm here to chew bubblegum and kick ass, and I'm all out of bubblegum, you know.
Yeah. I'm here to kick ass and chew bubblegum, and I'm all out of ass.
And
that took a turn.
On the real though, like we should do They Live at some point too, man. That movie is fucking awesome as fuck. Like,
Groovy.
Yeah, man. Like the dialogue in this movie is pretty juvenile, but it's hilarious.
Who the hell are you? Name's Ash. Housewares.
Just watch the movie. It's just fucking great.
Yeah.
The lines, we won't do it justice because Bruce Campbell's not delivering it.
I already said this like several times as we were watching, but one of my favoriteest parts is when Evil Ash does the Xena scream. Yeah, like this movie is fucking hilarious.
No, not Evil Ash. You're Bad Ash.
I'm Bad Ash. You're Good Ash. You're goody two shoes. Goody two shoes. Yeah, goody two shoes.
Yeah, goody two shoes.
Good, bad.
You know, punch him in the
I'm
face and
good.
shit. It's fucking awesome.
Yeah. I mean, this just shows how fucking Bruce Campbell was such an underappreciated goddamn actor. Like in so many ways, because he did a lot of his own, I guess, stunt work. I mean, they say that he pretty much like literally threw himself into everything. He got the fuck beat out of him here and there.
He's Bruce Campbell seems as underrated as fucking Jeffrey Combs.
Yeah, he's got a lot. He's got quite a bit of breadth to his acting chops. I mean, he does comedy, he does action, he does, I guess, romance.
He can do romance, dude. He'd be fantastic as a Cinemax erotica movie star.
That's what's
I
up.
think so, man. You go first. I mean, there is Evan Stone, who's a fucking classic Cinemax erotica actor. But I mean, I feel Bruce Campbell could go toe to toe with Evan Stone.
Maybe.
Does anyone know who Evan Stone is out there? Anyone listening?
Well, I'm listening.
Well, you know
I
what,
do.
Evan Stone. You know, like
What was the last thing he
maybe we
did
can
that I
interview Evan
remember?
Stone.
Jesus, what was it like doing the China porn? All three of them.
No. Let's be serious.
What was it like
She's dead,
starring in it? Yeah, you're right.
You go, what's it like to?
I'm not to speak ill of the dead.
Right?
Absolutely not.
She was a fantastic woman.
Woman, yes.
Wonder of the world, yo.
Yeah.
I was trying to remember one of the funniest.
What was it like to fuck China?
Jesus Christ. Well, never mind. I was gonna say like I'd found this other quote that I thought was fucking hilarious, but like how do you like follow that? I mean, really, you can't. Like, it's just
not quote necessarily, although it did come from Ash's mouth. That whenever he gets stuck with the fucking nail, that his little person stuck in his foot, and he just does that.
Right.
The facial expression, is fucking perfect.
Yeah, he's fucking hilarious. I mean, he's good at pretty much everything he does. The last thing that I saw him in, aside from Ash versus Evil Dead, was Burn Notice, which we were talking about earlier.
Right.
And he's a total badass in that movie. He's like a fucking pimp, you know, like he's.
I've
American
never seen Burn Notice.
It's great. Like the first few seasons
it's
are
pretty
great.
fun, man. Yeah,
lost interest.
But like, and he's just like the Bruce Campbell Spice. Cause he's like, you know,
he's a retired spy, but like American styles.
No. Like he wasn't a spy. He was like a former like Navy SEALs. And he had like contacts for.
But he ran in those circles or whatever.
Yeah. So he was like one of the contact dudes.
He was he was connected, and like he just goes around slinging dick like all day, like enjoying his pension. Like he's drinking, he's drinking some kind of shit in like every scene he's in all the time. Yeah, it's fucking hilarious, and it's also badass.
Yeah. But he's also there's like badass like military guns going brah, brah, motherfucker, and like seasonal diversions for whatever the fuck the protagonist dude is.
Fuck, what's the guy's name? I forgot.
I can't fucking remember.
Some English dude doing a pretty convincing American accent. That's usually the way it goes with the better ones. I mean, the last two Spider-Man actors were not American, so hey,
right?
That was pretty good. Way to go, guys! I guess.
So at least Sam Raimi like builds American, right? For the most part.
Well, like for the main stars, for this one, like he, you know, they even
but you
mentioned
said
that
South
he gets
American
quite a
chick
few.
was, or South African chick was born in the U.S.
Right?
So.
Yeah. Even though she's,
But then he gets some UK
South African
actors,
American.
yeah.
She's American. Like she was born in America. I guess she had dual citizenship or some such. But like the wizard and the guy
Right,
that
they're
plays
totally
Arthur,
UK dudes.
yeah, were thespians, and they got brought in for this comedy bullshit.
Why do you have to
routine.
bring up their fucking sexual preference, man? That's bullshit.
All right, guys. So do you want to do your ratings? Roland, I'll let you go first on this one.
This is one of my favorite fucking movies, and like there really isn't anything in here that I would change or add or I mean like
not even to like
if I could see more of the things that were taken out of the movie,
yeah, that would be great.
That would be fucking dope.
Even the special effects, like I wouldn't want that touched either. Like I don't need an upgrade.
like,
just leave it as is because that's what works.
Like they did so much work on the practical effects and the
yeah, like as I mentioned,
work.
I want to see the Raimi cut of this fucking movie. Like what he initially envisioned, like, it'd probably be like 50 minutes longer, but that's a big tragedy. It'd be like almost 2 hours of a film. Oh no.
Yeah. Oh, I mean, yeah. Damn, that would be fucking interesting. But I'd give this a 5. 5 out of 5. Klatuvrata nuns. If I must.
All right.
You must.
I'm gonna go next real quick because I think on the last episode that we did with when we did Evil Dead 2, I said that Evil Dead 2 is my favorite, but it's gonna be like a tie for these two. Like it's a tie. Like I love Evil Dead for what it is. All right. It's hilarious. It's gory. This one doesn't have a lot of those characteristics. It's a lot more slapsticky. And there's not much gore in this one, but I'm totally cool with that because
but there's like a lot of like mutilation or whatever.
Yeah,
I guess,
the elements of this movie, they're two different movies from the same person, same actors, but they're both done really well, and they can kind of both stand on their own.
This is pretty much a kids movie. Like,
oh yeah, for sure. Mm-hmm. This movie could easily be, if it hasn't already, because I'm not aware of if it was one of those Sunday matinee Channel 4 movies on a Sunday that you could watch.
Sure.
Minus like maybe a cut here and there and one or two fucks that he says. But yeah, like I feel like that movie could be easily shown on just regular TV. Ghost Dog, that's the one I was Sorry. For those of you listening, we were talking about earlier that I was surprised that a certain movie was a Criterion Collection candidate, and it was Ghost Dog, The Way of the Samurai with fucking Forrest Whitaker. That was a surprise. But anyways,
that was a shitty movie.
Just back to my rating. I'm going to give this one a straight up 5 out of 5 as well. It is hilarious. It's just so entertaining. It's so much fun. I love Bruce Campbell. Meeting him at the convention, fucking awesome dude as well.
Seeing him.
Well, you saw him. I met him at some point, but he's a really cool dude. And I say the same thing about Jeffrey Combs. They're really chill people.
Yep.
And even Norman Reedus too. He's a really cool dude as well. Mm-hmm. So 5 out of 5 for me for Army of Darkness. And I might have to check my rating for Evil Dead 2 because if I wasn't in my right state of mind, I should have given that a 5 out of 5 as well.
Likely excuse.
But that was my mistake if I didn't do that. So Army of Darkness, 5 out of 5 for me. So Daniel, what's your rating of this movie?
Before that though, was it Evil Dead 2 where we had the MoQuest first, where we all like agreed on the movie? Because I think we gave like one movie a 4.5 across the board. And I think
I'm not too sure which film that was. It could have easily.
Too.
It may have been. I would have to go back and check that.
Yeah, but if it was, then like I just thought that like with all your editing in mind, Ray, because you listen to our voices repeatedly, and which is something I have to apologize to you for. But
You're welcome.
I only apologize for listening to my own voice, which is a bit grueling sometimes.
Yes, for the rest of us.
And I'm pretty sure if you were listening to your own voice for a while,
no, like
you would
when I
probably
do
go
my quality
crazy.
checks of my tracks, it's like, oh, I'm talking. Oh, it sounds so fucking terrible.
Yeah, I'm the same way. Daniel's talking again.
You're so rude. You're so rude. Such a rude motherfucker over
It's in
here.
his nature, though. He's just a mean old dirty bastard. But
He's already hit Walter Matthau status of grumpy old man.
yep.
I no.
Yeah, you're not the cool old man either. You're Walter Matthau. Sorry, bud.
Ooh.
Anyway, but as far as Army of Darkness goes, this is my favorite of the trilogy. I love this movie. And we talked about how none of us realized that they were all part of the same trilogy beforehand.
Not until a while later.
But no, like, just the comedy is great. Like, there's violence, there's sex, there's fucking just great one-liners, you know, and time
Tasteful side
travel.
boob.
And god damn, this movie's amazing.
Time crap.
5 out of 5. So we agree again on another movie.
A MoQuest second.
Yes.
Never
5 out of 5.
Never to happen again.
Right. Yeah, we'll never have a second victory where we all agree.
No.
Never again.
No.
It's impossible.
Nope.
But
No, it's not gonna happen.
But no, like, I fucking love this movie, man. Like, it's just perfect.
Yeah,
And
I mean, there isn't anything about this movie that sucks.
A follow-up question, though,
again,
which we did address a little bit in the earlier parts of this episode, but there's 2 endings to this movie. So, Ray,
Oh, right.
which is your favorite?
Of the
endings.
trilogy?
Of the endings.
The endings?
Yeah.
Oh, I like the S-Mart ending because I feel like the other ending, although it being the original, was a bit lackluster again. There's a battle that goes on at the end.
Need a little more
There's another. There's
on them bones.
There's a hot girl that wants to come onto fucking Bruce Campbell also.
Yep.
He fires that gun like fucking crazy fast, which is hilarious. We have another Deadite coming to life again.
Yep.
Wanting to steal his soul and shit. And of course, Bruce Campbell's coming out with fucking one-liners up the butt in the ending, you know. So like you're ending the movie with what we've come to know as classic,
right,
Ash Williams type of behavior.
What ended up becoming Evil Dead canon, right?
Yes, exactly. So
TV series.
And if we didn't have the alternate ending, which is the S-Mart one, we wouldn't have had, like I mentioned before, was the "Hail to the King, baby,"
right?
Which was the last line,
right?
And fucking, I'm pretty sure that's a line that people can get like in the theaters, even though how annoying this is that they get up and they fucking cheer like, "Fuck you!"
Yeah,
woo,
nowadays,
whatever, you know?
they would have clapped and all that. Well, yeah.
Although that did happen when I saw the remake of Evil Dead, and then he comes out at the end and just says "groovy." People fucking jumped up and was like, "Fuck you!" That's just a bunch of fucking goddamn nerds doing that, including myself. I'm gonna say that. But yeah, so I like the S-Mart ending better.
Yep. I mean,
how about
takes
you,
off
Roll?
all the, huh?
Which do you like better,
So
man?
what about you? Which ending did you prefer?
Yeah, smart. It was just it was a better it was a better wrap up to the movie. Like Ray said, it has him going back to his daily bullshit routine. Another scene with fucking Ted Raimi in there, so of course I'm for it. Some random, very, very hot chick who I thought the first time I saw this was Christina Applegate. I was like, what is this?
It is not.
It is not. 'Tis not. But you know what? I regret nothing. She's still hot. And it's funny. Like, and it has like a whole ridiculous action bit where fucking Ash fires like 30 bullets out of a rifle or whatever. And you just see him cocking this shit ridiculously. Blah, 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 blah. We're like, is he missing? Is he? No. Okay.
You would think he had like a fucking chain of bullets.
Yeah, exactly.
Attached to himself.
And yeah, it's fucking hilarious. And it just ends like I would expect an adventure movie to end, where everything sort of like wraps up. But I did really like the the post-apocalypse ending.
Yeah, don't
Because
get me
it was
wrong.
just-
I like that as well, but I feel like it would have led to like other things as well. Like I feel like they couldn't have just ended it like that. There had to have been just a little bit
like
more to kind of leave.
It wasn't very well
a cliffhanger, you know.
Yeah, it wasn't a very
there should have been
well-rounded ending.
an
It
extra
was-
cliffhanger on top of that. Whenever him waking up.
Yeah. If they had gone with that post-apocalypse, and it's like there would have needed to have been more to it for me to have
Yeah, for sure.
picked it. And no.
But it's a nice thing to see as the original ending. Like,
absolutely.
that's cool.
Yeah,
that
like,
they would have
so
done
I
that.
see where you guys are going. This, you're like, you're fucking like, you're goofy ass bastards to the end. That's cool. Okay.
But of course, that probably would have taken Evil Dead into like comic book territory with Ash versus
maybe
Army of Darkness, Ash versus Marvel Zombies. You could have like probably opened it up
either
to
that
like so
or
much
they
other
would have
shit
just
as
done
well.
some more timey-wimey bullshit and brought him back to modern day, and then
that's true,
still
yeah.
popped him into S-Mart.
Yeah, you would have to find. Maybe he interacts with fucking Snake with Kurt Russell. You know?
Right.
Ash teams up with fucking Snake, and John Carpenter and Sam Raimi's magnum opus.
Right.
Escape from the Evil Dead.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. There you go. There you go. That's a good one. Daniel, what was your favorite? If you didn't mention it already.
Actually, I like the original ending a little better because it just like, as Roland like mentioned earlier, it plays into the whole like goofiness of the Raimi franchise. You know, like of course it's gonna fuck up the drops and sleep too long, and they go like, no, it's all ended. So.
Right.
And even if like, you know, we did talk about like, if they did extend the plot of that sort of ending, how that could be cool. But what I like about it is that it ties in like right with the ending of part 2, where Ash falls through the time warp thing, hits the ground, goes, fuck, I'm here. No. Same thing happens in the OG ending of this fucking movie. And I think that's like great continuity.
Okay, so this would officially be a MoQuest first. That I texted Bryce because unfortunately he was working. He closed.
Oh, Bryce voted,
and he didn't get to make it. So I texted him and I asked him what would he give Army of Darkness out of 5, and his words 5, son. Always. He goes 5 boomsticks, 5 horse blankets, 5 screwheads, 5 primates, 5 Chinese jet pilots, 5 pillow talks.
It's Chinese.
One of my favorites.
Packs.
That's what he said.
That's cool.
He said jet pilot. So, yes, he said it's one of his favorites. So MoQuest first 4, 5 out of 5s.
Well, that's
Army of
up.
Darkness. Okay, so that'll bring our this episode to a close. That is the end of our horror trilogies. We started off with the Apocalypse trilogy with John Carpenter, The Thing, Prince of Darkness, and In the Mouth of Madness. Then we went to the Cornetto trilogy, Shaun of the Dead, Hot Fuzz, and
At World's End or World's End.
World's End, World's End. And then we went into, what did we go into after that? I forgot.
This
remember?
man.
You remember?
What the fuck is that, Jamie?
This is what Ray on a skateboard looks like.
No, it's Jamie on a skateboard, dude.
Roland, do you remember which ones we did after?
Yeah, it was it was at the World's End. I think was the drinking contest.
Yeah, but what was the trilogy that we did after that? Oh, I'm sorry, Reanimator. Sorry, Reanimator trilogy. Reanimator, Bride, Reanimator,
Right.
and
Reanimator.
Beyond Reanimator.
Yeah,
So this is the end of our trilogies for this year. The next episode that we have, the last episode that we have for this year in particular, is going to be the villains one. The culmination of all the villains together. Who will reign supreme?
Word.
So yeah, look forward to that. If you have any sort of different opinion about Army of Darkness or any of these trilogies, please let us know.
We're gonna decide on who's the bitch and who's the butch.
Yeah, that's what's gonna happen. And we have some more exciting things coming to Cinekuest Video in 2021. New type of format, new series that we're going to start up.
Yep.
Hopefully everyone will enjoy it. But yeah, so that's the end of Cinequest Video Horror Trilogies. My name is Ray.
This is not Ray.
And Daniel.
Pacific Northwest.
In the Pacific
All right.
Northwest, yes.
That's correct. And Bryce at his home
Right.
somewhere.
So you.
That's it.
See you, dudes.